Oh yeah, y'all, we back in the house. This is Coach, aka Kyle, and the Kyle L team. And luckily for us, I was about to say luckily for y'all, but luckily for us, we've already did 2 or 3 videos already on this. This is going to be a part 1 because y'all know how it is, and you got to excuse us, and especially me, losing stuff in transit and all over the place, and stuff get tore up and get ripped up and damaged. But there's actually going to be a part 2 and a part 3 to this, and I apologize. I think I heard Blood and some other folks in the past say it. Excuse me. We usually mean to do the part 2s and part 3s when we say we are, but it's wild, man. It's we live in life and we have families. You already understand, man. Stuff you get off track and you write something down and you lose it. You spill water on it. You left it across the country. All type of stuff. But we already pre-made part 2 and part 3 to this, and hopefully we can do a lot of extra stuff with this new series right here. And this was going to be called Reasons Why You Spar. As a matter of fact, someone left a comment in the comment section asking us to demonstrate some of those training techniques with Joe Lewis and I'm sure y'all have heard of this, but I guess a lot of people haven't, with tying the arm behind your back, your dominant hand, to spar, or tying your dominant hand behind your back to hit the bag, the heavy bag, the speed bag. There's all sorts of things to strengthen up your abilities with isolation. Hence, you have one arm push-ups, one leg squats, so on and so forth. So before getting too long-winded, y'all, let's get right into the video. All right, reasons why you spar.
I don't want any trouble. My light's about to get cut off. Had you been practicing on your art, you know your way in the dark. Silence. Silence.
I can remember sparring, and to give it to y'all straight, y'all, sparring was one of my favorite exercises, just as a human being living life, and as a fighter, as a combatant. Sparring was one of my favorite activities. Matter of fact, sparring is probably either my number 1 or number 2 favorite activity to do. Well, when it came to training for combat, shadow sparring, especially shadow sparring with another fighter. And I can remember being in college and high school. If it was up to me, if I could have made the practice schedule back then, which I'm glad I didn't, we would come to practice, stretch, do a few calisthenics, spar, whether it's light sparring or heavy sparring, the whole practice, and then just run afterwards for cardio. If it was up to me, we'd do that every day, y'all. That's how much I enjoyed sparring and the nuances of learning and gaining things by experience and muscle memory. And you learn those with drills as well, but just sparring was, since it was like a simulated actual bout, actual match, and I always got such a good workout. I just love to compete, But like I said, I used to love shadow sparring with another fighter. But let's get into sparring now. When I was sparring with, let's say you're sparring with someone else who didn't know how or why to spar, then it used to become aggravating. And oftentimes, if you're sparring someone who doesn't know how or why they need to spar, it's also very wasteful. And to both of y'all's detriment, someone who doesn't know how to spar or doesn't know how or why is very dangerous to both combatants. All right. Now, learning how to spar and be a good sparring partner, y'all, is also an art. It takes skill. You learn how to spar so you can acquire more skills, for the real contest. You learn how to cycle your legs so you can run or ride a bike. You learn how to put air into a basketball so you can dribble. You learn how to, tie your shoes so you can, walk heel toe. These are probably bad examples, but I'm just saying there's an art to learning how to spar as well, too. You should also learn how to spar.
Learning from the master is your pay, punk. Now get in line before you get hurt.
Because I could not stand mother flussers who didn't know how to spar. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know those people. Y'all ever been to go spar, and I'm sure many of y'all have, and you go and spar someone and they only have one speed. Y'all know those people, they only have one gear and it's full throttle. They aggravating as hell to spar. Now, I'm not going to say that they're totally useless in the gym. They have other uses. Like, I used to have two sparring partners. Let's use the names Tyrone and Ricky. You know, we be sparring, and I'd say, you know, Tyrone, man, hey, you know, man, when we doing the takedown or the punch, why are you twisting my leg? Why are you about to injure me, man? We're just sparring, bro. We're just sparring. Or Tyrone, why are you drawing blood, man? Why are you punching with your full might? Why are you grappling with your full? Now you about to snap my neck, dog. Calm down. It's sparring. You know, that's how tempers get flared too. And then let's say Ricky, day before a tournament, Ricky, why are you going full speed, dude? Why are you trying to crack my ribs with this takedown? We have a tournament tomorrow. Everybody's trying to compete. Everyone wants to do well. No one can afford any type of injury, no type of extra bruises. We're already banged up from practice and sparring and training anyway. But those dudes, man, were so aggravating. Now, they're not totally useless in your gym or your dojo or your training areas or wherever you're at. They have good uses. People that only have one gear to go full throttle, that are extra wild and shit, they're real good when it comes to things like weight training. Like when you go to lift weights, you know, those dudes that one gear, they pump out a lot, and they're also real good motivators when you at the end of your practice and you're running and you're doing your sprints or whatever you're doing your rope climbs. Those dudes are real good at motivating everybody because that's their only speed. It's just to motivate and go full throttle. So they have their functions, you know, but just be wary of sparring with them. Until they learn how to spar, I advise you, don't spar with them. Or if you really want a hard spar match, spar with them. And don't spar with their ass before, you know, big fights, tournaments, etc., etc. Sparring is on-the-job training. You could say it's akin to controlled field experience, or maybe controlled field experimenting as well. Sparring is being in the zone without the possibility of full danger, while yet it's still dangerous. Sparring is akin to oiling the gears before you get them turning full speed in your car or your clock. Now, in sparring, you can even be playful, you can be silly, but as long as it's serious playfulness, you can be wild even in your sparring, but as long as it's structured wildness. And I'm ranting here, but what Bruce Lee say, it's the art of fighting without fighting. You know what I'm saying? So when you spar, you want to get into a state of mind. You're in the zone and you're in there to acquire, you're in there to learn. And freak accidents happen and people get hurt. But let me tell y'all, if people are getting hurt when you're sparring and ligaments are getting torn and people are breaking bones, you're doing it wrong. Okay, and I advise you, get some coaching or training on how to spar. Freak accidents do happen, and sometimes sparring gets extra serious, but that's good. Because the structure we in there was just on the job training. We in there working. You know what I'm saying? We're being trained to learn and see new things and nuances so we can take it to the next level when we're out there in the actual field or ring or mat or dirt or wherever that you're using your combat at. Now,
sucker, look at you.
Like we were saying earlier, sparring is controlled learning. Well, maybe, I don't know if I can say controlled learning. Maybe unbiased learning, because you want to take it all in. That's why you want to spar different partners, different styles. Sparring, you see it all the time. You'll see two cats in there in the ring, trash talking, trying to tear each other's head off, and then one person or both get tired too fast, or one person that they going in there full speed, and one person gets tired and wants to take a early break, or they both get tired real fast, and then one out the two combatants stalls out, and when that happens, little to no work gets done. Barely any work gets done, or sometimes when the skill disparity is large between the two combatants, one person gets pummeled, no work gets done there either. I mean, basically, when we see those matches and we say, oh man, it was like a spar match. Well, it really is not, because most spar matches that I've been in have been competitive. And let me tell you, that just shows you how much, man, if you sparring and you whooping and you beating down somebody, you shouldn't be sparring them, because only iron's going to sharpen iron. You should, Okay, get it out the way. Maybe you had some beef with little Timmy or whatever, and you just wanted to show him whatever. And or maybe that person called you out. And sometimes it's the other way around. People who want to get better, who know that they need extra work, they'll go and seek out the better fighters, the better combatants, which is smart. But you being a better or more highly skilled, you shouldn't be beating up on little Timmy. You should be sparring someone your skill level or better. Iron sharpens iron. This is how you're going to get better. This is how you're going to learn anew. You keep beating up on the same little, kicking over the same little ant hill. I mean, you're not going to learn nothing until you start climbing that mountain. You know what I'm saying? Rolling over the molehill, that mound or whatever. All right. Let's get into reasons why you spar. First of all, whatever combative art or sport you're in, before you spar, you should always have your gear. All right, safety first. And I don't know, some sports, or sometimes we would go without our gear, to be honest with you, which is dangerous. And I know at certain levels you feel like you don't need it, but safety first, baby. So always have your gear, your protective gear, equipment, whatever. All right. Number two, or next, your mind state for sparring. Your mind state needs to be that of a learning one that is looking for new skills. Your mind state needs to be of one that's looking for new tricks and angles and methods. All right. Your mind state needs to be of one that will push through any sort of fatigue. Because remember, we're sparring, so there's not really a real clock. So we're going to let the rounds go longer. We're going to let the match time go longer. We're going to let the fight continue on longer. So you got to get your mind state as building mental longevity and mental stamina and endurance to go for a long time and to be looking for new things at all times. And remember also, sparring is preparation. Sparring is refining. All right. So when you're sparring, you're trying to polish your diamond. All right. You're not trying to crush the other person's. That might happen along the way, depending on the skill set and whatever. You might see something pop out. But you're really sparring to refine your diamond. Okay. And last but not least, in sparring, you never ever go 100%. Okay. Now maybe you can in short spurts, but you don't really want to go 100%, y'all, because how can I say it? Sparring is, we've already been saying this throughout the whole spit right here. You're looking for new things. You're looking to learn. If you go 100%, that's, you're tiring yourself out. See, sparring's already meant to be longer than the actual bout, or the rounds are longer, or the match time is longer, but it's meant to be long and strenuous so you can endure. And so when you go in small spurts while you're sparring, that simulates. You're not supposed to do it the whole time, but in small spurts, you get your little small spurt in. Maybe you saw something open up, or you got a new angle on something, or you saw something from a southpaw fighter or from a sugarfoot grappler, and you go hard for maybe 10, 20, just a spurt. You never always want to go fully hard, okay?
Silence.
You also go hard in short spurts only. You never go 100% in sparring, but you go hard in short spurts only, to get a good feel of your wind, okay? And to get a good feel of certain capabilities and special maneuvers you might be able to pull off. You do those full speed, but the gist of it is not to go full speed, okay?
Sucker, look at you.
I would suggest you go between 50 and 75% in sparring. That's just me. That's the way I used to like to spar, and when with certain people like Tyrone and Ricky, even though I tried to avoid them, but when there was no avoiding their ass because such and such was sick and they only, you gotta almost go 100% with their ass, or have to fight their ass so they, just have to spar someone smaller than you or way bigger than you, blah, 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 and so on. All right, let's go into some other reasons why you spar. Other reasons why you spar.
You shouldn't be on the phone anyway. You should be practicing on your art.
Like we've already said, you spar to learn. All right, you spar to learn and experience. Sparring is like being on the battleground and preparing for battle. It's like being on the battleground. It's kind of like the Danger Room. Remember X-Men, the cartoon, the Danger Room? it was real because they can actually get injured, but it was fake. It was holographic. So it's like you're in a real battle, but it's play battle. It's not play, but it's semi-serious. Or I'm trying to think of another analogy. Y'all remember the what's the video game? Y'all remember the video game Final Fantasy? Games like Final Fantasy and Wild Arms, those type of lengthy battling RPG games. Y'all remember those? And y'all remember in Final Fantasy, I can remember this specifically because I used to love Final Fantasy. After each fight or after each battle, you would gain EXP. Y'all remember that? And EXP stood for experience or experience points. Okay, so it's the same with sparring. After each sparring session, you're supposed to gain experience points, baby. You get experience. You're learning. You're getting a new feel for it. You're getting a new attitude. Another reason why you spar. You spar to test and push your limits. I remember I was watching something on Joe Frazier. Well, it was years ago, and he was talking. I think it was the promo for Fight Night Round Champion. I can't fully remember, but he was talking about some of his sparring methods. He either said that he would go 36 rounds straight without a break, or it was 36 minutes with something crazy like 7 sparring partners straight. It was something out of this world, something a legend could do, something a titan could do. A griffin, a beast. Anywho, you also spar to scout an upcoming opponent. Okay, so maybe you ask your partner your partner, your fellow sparring partner, to mimic a style, or maybe you find someone, you see someone out in the streets, or you see someone in your gym or your dojo who has a similar style to the next person that you're about to fight with or have a bout or match with. You sparring for you sparring for that, for mimicry and for scouting. And here's a little short list I wrote down. Let's see, get this thing. A little asterisks. And some of them might be redundant, but they're just a short little, kind of like maxims. All right. So quick reasons why you spar. Bam, you spar to increase stamina, endurance, and conditioning. You spar to try out new things to see if they will work against game opponents. You spar to observe and to try to it's a sloppy writing. See, that's why I like to type stuff and print it out. All right, let's skip that. You spar to practice what you need work on during your contest. If you mess up in sparring, you won't get KO'd, tapped out, or pinned, or at least you shouldn't. Yeah, you spar with an open mind to try new things if you've never tried before, or things that you're scared of trying, or things that you're unsure of trying. You spar to strengthen your abilities and special moves. You spar to build confidence and perseverance. You spar to give different looks and styles and to receive different looks and styles. You spar to coordinate your breathing, to perfect the little things. You spar to get your footwork, your steps, your mentality, and everything in sync. You spar to get your timing and other small calculations better. You spar to increase your energy. You spar to build tough skin against slams, punches, kicks, bows, etc., etc., etc. So there's a million reasons why you spar, y'all, and I'm sure there's other reasons that I either don't know, have forgotten, or haven't experienced myself. So in closing, sparring, like we said throughout this whole quick little spit, is a learning. It's a building session. You want to be ready but not tense. All right, going back to the old archives of the greats. You want to use emotional content but not anger. Not thinking but not yet dreaming. All right. You also spar to develop certain instincts, like a killer instinct. If y'all have ever sparred, you've been in a match, and it's almost like my old coach used to say, smell blood. You've been in a match, you can almost sense or feel a weakness, even if they're not dazed or stunned or showing weakness. You get at an angle and you felt it, you can feel it. It's almost like the air shifts and you got a split second to act, and you can feel that you could tear this person's head off. That's what you want to do in sparring, and thank goodness you got your gear on. But if you can get that every time, it's almost like you develop a new instinct, a sixth sense almost. Shoot, I forgot where we at, y'all. Let's see. Yeah, so sparring, we're learning a lot of things in sparring, y'all, and this is only part one. You spar, and also, yeah, before we forget, you spar with your best intent. Okay, you never want to spar to hurt, especially your partners, or to injure or to maim yourself, especially because a lot of times, I'll be honest with you, I think I've hurt myself more in sparring than I've ever hurt others. You know, tweaking my knee or tearing my shoulder out, trying to do something crazy, or, you know, being intoxicated, which is so stupid. But you always spar with the best intent, which is to learn and to get better. All right, y'all. So this is only part one. We already recorded part 2 and 3. We just got to add them, man. Hopefully we add on more and get some live footage and stuff in here. Appreciate y'all time.
Learning from the master is your pay, punk.
Be good. Stay diligent. We love bossing.